2 years ago, a friend and I completed what I believe was the first ever true Palworld Nuzlocke. It took well over 60 hours over the span of almost 4 months, and we only beat the final boss with 38 seconds left on the timer. In hearing that, you may be saying the obvious point that this survival game was not designed for a Pokemon challenge run. And you'd be correct. But I'm stupid and 1.0 is out, so we're doing it again. As a quick recap, we managed to beat Zoe and Grisbolt last week without having a single pal die. I genuinely do not know how I managed to pull that one off, but I guess that means we're on to Lily and Lylene now. Of course, we have some general housekeeping I need to do before I can take on the next tower boss, and top priority at the moment is having a house to keep. I've gone this entire playthrough without having a single wall at my base. I'm really not that good at building in this game, but I want to make sure for this challenge that every base I do design feels very intentional. And since my first base has to do a little bit of everything, at least for the early game, I want to give it a more primitive wooden fort feel to it. So I should probably get going on those walls. There was no better way to edit that other than making you watch me place every wall down, and that didn't sound fun. It's also at this point that I realized I don't have any farms going yet. Every single berry of this playthrough has been picked by hand, and I'm kind of tired of doing that. So I quickly whipped together a little garden as one of the corners of the base. It's not the most spatially efficient garden, but we're going with form over function, and honestly, I just really wanted to build a little tavern for my pals to have. There is another small problem that has stopped me from planting a garden before now. Here's a list of every pal I've caught so far. None of them have planting abilities. There are really only 5 early game pals you can catch that can plant for you, and I'm kind of running out of chances to catch them. If we pull out the spawn map, this is every zone I realistically should take on before taking out Lily and Lylene. And here are the zones I've already gone into and what I've caught from them. Of those 5 planting pals, Clovey's just fully unobtainable. I've already caught a pal in the 2 zones that it can spawn in. Tansy and Liftmonk are catchable, but they're at weird spots in their zones, and I don't think realistically I can reach them without seeing another pal. Herbal would be amazing for this run. Having an extra life would change the game, but it's basically a coin flip if I get that or a Finstrider, which really just leaves me with Gummoss. It spawns a little bit further inland than I would like it to, but I'm pretty sure I can reach it without seeing any pal I haven't already seen before. And if I'm honest, I just want a break from base building for a little while, and having a simple catch would be really nice about now. Yeah, or a meteor could fall, I guess that's okay too. This meteor fell in probably the best spawn location in the entire game. There are so many good pals here, and Xenogard is really not that strong later in the game. But also, it's really funny to say that I caught the alien pal in a Nuzlocke. I did have to pass through another spawn zone before reaching the meteor, so we also got a dire howl on the way, but that's not as funny as the Xenogard, especially since the one I caught ended up being double my level, something I should never have taken on in a challenge with permadeath enabled. That's almost as stupid as deciding to kill the other one and trying to get meteor fragments. Oh wait, that's exactly what I did. An action I was immediately punished for because it led to the first death of our playthrough. Mamba, our Celeray, was killed taking on an overleveled Xenogard, a fight that, truthfully, I didn't need to be in. I could just come back to these meteors after things despawned in about an hour, and it would be completely safe. There was no reason to do this. Up until this point, we've had no struggles in combat, and I completely forgot the difficulty of this challenge. I only have so many pals I can catch, and if I'm this irresponsible with them, I'm not making it to the end of this game. With that reality starting to set in, I think it's about time we head back to the safety of the base and place that first tombstone of the run. While I'm back at the base, I decided to try lifting my spirits by building my first house of the run, since I still don't even have a bed yet. I don't want it to be too large, but it needs to have enough space for me to experiment with interior design, something I've never touched in my 2 years of playing this game. The design I ended up going with can be split into 2 main sections. On the outside, there's a blacksmith with some crafting stations to give almost a shop feel to it. It's probably a fire hazard, but that's not a problem in this game, so I'm not gonna worry about it. The second section is where you'll find my bedroom and the storage for the house. Storage is just tucked away in a corner. It's not important, but the bedroom is my first attempt at using the decorations in this game. I never realized how many options there were at this low of a level. It was kind of intimidating, so I kept it very simplistic, but it's definitely an upgrade from my usual method, which is just slapping a bed in the corner and calling it a day. While building the house, I also grabbed the last of my easy catches, which really weren't anything of significance, but there's no better time to say that I caught them, so you're getting them now. I also decided it might be worth it to upgrade my equipment finally, considering I'm still using that 3-shot bow from earlier when I've been sitting on a tier 3 crossbow schematic this entire time. At this point, I'm still only level 15 and kind of running out of things to do. I've caught all of the easy underleveled pals, and honestly, I don't think I have a strong enough team to take on the next tower boss. As of right now, I only have 1 pal with a type advantage, and it's a ruby with a negative passive skill. Even if I grind out the dog coins needed to reach star levels 2, even 3, I don't think it's strong enough to take on the boss on its own. There does exist another region that I can get a fire type pal. There's just one small drawback. It's the coast of the volcano. I know, we've already lost a pal today going into an overleveled area, and the volcano is way higher level than I am right now. But this coastline isn't. Well, kinda. This stretch of land has pals ranging from about 20 to 25, and one of those pals is an Arsox, easily the strongest fire type pal I have access to right now. It's incredibly risky to do, but outside of this one zone, I don't think I can get another fire type. I guess there is the Scars of War, but Wixens can spawn there at above level 30, and if I happen to see one of them first, I'm just doomed. This is really my only chance I have. I just have to hope that I can see an Arsox before any other pals, and it's a dumb mud. I guess the passive pal oils is gonna be nice, but I think this was the worst possible pal to get in this zone. As much as I would like to, I really can't complain that much since I caught it without losing another pal. It just sucks that I don't have another option for a strong fire type before taking on Lily and Lylene. I guess I can grab the Great Eagle Tower here as a consolation prize since no pals spawn in this region for some reason. Something I was 100% convinced of until about now. That is a level 36 Pyronaut. I would like to remind you, I am only level 15. What I should do right now is walk to that Great Eagle Tower, teleport home, and give up my catch for this region. I know it's the volcano, one of the biggest and probably best regions in the entire game, but there is no world in which I catch this Pyronaut. I do a lot of stupid things when playing games. Most of the time it involves placing bets on odds that are just way out of my favor. That's why I love roguelikes so much. You may consider this a form of gambling addiction, and I won't disagree, but I will ask one simple question. What happens when it pays off? This is the type of greed they talk about in the Bible. I caught it in only 4 spheres and my pangolin didn't even take damage. There's probably 100 universes out there where I died and lost my entire team, and I live in the one where I caught this thing. Lily and Lylene are dead. I really wish I had my live reaction because the high I was feeling after catching this and beating the odds is something I can't describe. It gave me so much confidence that I immediately went to the Scars of War hoping to find a Wixen. And sure enough, that's exactly what I found. Level 32, but if I'm honest, that number means nothing to me now. In fact, it means so little, I'm gonna take it on without ever dismounting my Dire Howl. In a challenge with limited resources, I should not be going head-to-head with something that can pretty much guaranteed one-shot me on foot in a fair fight. Catching that pirate has changed my mindset from extreme caution to anything is possible. I feel untouchable right now. As it turns out, I was not untouchable. So much so that Shadow wasn't even the only death of this fight. As big as I let my ego get, I did go into this fight with the expectation that something would die. Of course, I never want to lose a pal, but if I'm being honest, I think this was a worthwhile trade. That Pangolin was gonna die anyway, getting shot out of a rocket launcher, and if it happened to die sooner, I'm glad it got me a Wixen, because now I have a guaranteed win against Lily and Lylene, and a pal that scales pretty well into the late game. Shadow, on the other hand, was not something I planned for. It's an incredible ground mount in a game where I don't get to pick what my mount is, but we're not that far off from getting a saddle for Pyron, and I'm pretty sure it's faster than Dire Howl. So even if I struggle for the next couple levels, it'll all balance out in the end. Actually, it balanced out pretty much immediately. Did you know this Pyron can face tank a hit from an overleveled Mamorist? Oh yeah, I caught a Mamorist, by the way, and barely a Valet. This Pyron's so strong it almost killed it before the sphere landed. I feel that's a sign we're strong enough to take on the tower boss now. 1.0 added new quest lines for the tower bosses before you take them on. Lily's is something about a divorce and a betrayal. I was only half paying attention, if I'm honest. I'm just gonna say it was this guy's fault. Are you fine with me doing that, or do you want me to comment on the lore? The last time I took on one of these bosses, I made it a big deal about how unsure I was going into it, but if I'm honest, that's not really even a question anymore. I actually forgot to use Wixen's ability for most of the fight. Something I didn't bring up last episode was that each of the tower bosses comes with a sphere based on one of the 7 deadly sins at the end of their fight. With how much I've been focusing on it the entire episode, you can kind of see where this is going. After a not very long and really not that hard fight, we could finally claim our key sphere of pride. I'm not proud of what I did. I've got blood on my hands. This wasn't supposed to be pride. This was supposed to be greed. I had the entire episode scripted. Why is this one pride?